So I'm going to be taking these 3 pieces, getting them painted, but I also want to make them look old. They are new, 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 and of course you can tell that one is new. So let's see if we can transform this into the primitive vibe that I like to paint. Now this one's probably my neediest because it's just a cubby box. So I want to put it on a piece of pallet wood, and I tried to find, sometimes pallet wood is not straight, so I wanted to go ahead and put it on something like that. That'll give it a base so it's not going to be so I'm going to fall over on anything. And then I wanted to give it more character by adding some paint sticks. But now the paint sticks I'm going to have to cut down because they have a little bit of a lip on them. So if you had something, this is just what I have, just to give it a little more character. And we don't need it to be too awful much. So I have a little bit of work to do on this before I can start painting or anything like that. So first I need to figure out, and I see my paint sticks are not necessarily, they're not level. Well, you know, mass produced, not made to be what I'm using them for, but that's okay. So first of all, while they're still long, I'm going to rip that little edge off. I'm going to use this nice guide. Now I made a little mark. Can I find the mark? To cut them down. I'll do 2 at a time. Then for this cut, to cut it down, I'm going to use the chop saw to make a straight cut, and then I'll rip this one a little bit too so it's not so big. I just have to figure out, I wanted to leave it a little bit wider, but that's, you know, that's much too, just something to give it a little bit of a bottom. Maybe the size of one of these. That'll give me a good guide. Okay, so now I've got everything cut. I'm going to do a little bit of sanding. Now this is such thin wood that I'm not even going to attempt to try to nail, maybe at the sides when it's dry, and I can't tell you that my paint sticks are completely level and straight. That's a small little, I'm working with what I have, so doesn't mean I know there's pieces of wood that you can just buy and do this with too, but I was working with what I had on hand when I had my idea of what I wanted to do. The nice thing about making something look old, it doesn't have to be perfect. So this is just type on quick and thick. Give this a try, but if it rips it, breaks it, and then it's just going to be what it's going to be. This is just a little staple. Oh, not well, as long as I keep it, I mean, it's right on the edge. It'll work. It did kind of split the wood, but that's okay. We will work with that. At least it's got something to hold it down. So I'm just gonna wipe off the excess glue. Okay, now we will go ahead and do the top. Might as well use up all the glue that I have, right? This is the bottom, yeah. I needed to make sure we were doing the bottom here. I rounded one of the edges off more than the other, so I wanted to make sure I got it on here. Okay, so I let my glue set up a little bit. I put some CA glue over the little nail holes, especially where it's split, just some clear, like crazy glue. wood glue. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more of a sanding. So the most I did was get the sand dust off of it. I rounded my edges. Now I'm going to seal this all in with some shellac as a primer to fill in that wood. So I have a new milk paint to try. Vonda from the Painted Heirloom said, hey, Fusion came out with a milk paint. So I'm going to give it a try. You know, I'm a huge fan of milk paint, y'all. So they have some beautiful colors. So check out her site if you're interested. So she sent me Mod Mustard. So I think for the little cubby, it's the same thing. It looks like it's the same equal parts. It's equal parts depending on how you want it to act. So I did 3 scoops. I'm going to see what 2 scoops looks like because, you know, I like to do 1 coat if possible, but every brand is going to be a little bit different. I thought it would be perfect to check out, you know, test it out on one of the newer pieces that I'm working on today. Yeah, look at 2 coats. Or didn't I do 3? I did 3 scoops and then, yeah. So again, same mixing. You know, you mix until it's all incorporated. It should thicken up as it's sitting. Now, normally I would have wanted to attach these afterwards, but just because they're so small, I'm like, yeah, I better get them attached now. So we're just going to try our best to paint all the cubby all the way around. Very small little areas, but people love their littles. I don't know about you all, but I do sell. I know I make over a lot of cubbies. That's because I sell a lot of them. That was some good angles to get into to get all those little corners. But I think I got most of them. I have it all painted. I want to paint the back, but I need to let this dry first. The yellow is very pretty, and it does have small little crack and crazings on there. So now I painted everything, so it didn't look like a new item. So now I'm going to go in and sand it. Of course, I wish the power sander would fit all the way in, but it doesn't. So hand sand it is. Whew, okay, that's a lot of little cubbies. Now I'm going in with Fusion's aging wax. Let's see, I'm going to test out the back first. See how this paint reacts to waxes. Oh, I like it. There's the mustardy color. Any clear with it because I like how it's in the marked areas. Just as hard as they were probably to paint. I mean, not necessarily hard. It's just, you know, time consuming. Get your angles. I'll just get some of the wax in there. Then I'll take a tinier brush. And then I'll just start moving it around, adding when I need to. And then we'll go in and wipe off the excess. So it's a cubby with drawers, though it's very masculine, very like officey. So we're going to change that up. Let's get rid of the drawers for right now. Love cubbies. I do need to sand it, but I do want to give it more of a cottagey. I think that'll sell a little bit better. It's funny how this is stained one color and the inside is stained another color. These scallops that I got off Amazon have been quick sellers in my booth. So that is what I am going to do, but not to the bottom because it would just cover up so much stuff. Where I'm going to add them onto the top. So I have little holes where the screws were, then I have these little holes over here from where they nailed it together. This is just air dry clay. Little holes, doesn't take much to fill. You know, you always think, oh, I can just fill that with paint, and then somehow the paint's like, no, I'm not going to stick in there. So that same thing where it has all those little nail holes. And actually one of these is already broken off. It's like all cockeyed. It's like, it's not quite right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those off too. Okay, so this is very raw. The inside is very raw. So I'm actually just gonna paint the entire thing, I think, today. Instead of trying to stain the wood, I'm just gonna paint it. Prime it with some shellac. I'm going to paint these first before attaching them because it'll be easier to get into the cubby, so I want to treat it the same as everything else. It's like Fonda knows me. Look at that. Laurel, vintage laurel green. So it's supposed to look like this color. So that's what I'm going to do, the one I'm going to put the scallops on. That one I'm doing the inside because you're going to be seeing the inside. So I'm going to mix up a good portion here. Try just a quarter cup less. Oh, we have to love cubbies, right? I do love cubbies. I just don't like to paint the inside of them. But there we go. You do it because the outcome is always amazing. Fun to see new colors though, right? I have 2 of these colors that she sent me, so. So my last project will be something different. So I am doing the inside of these little drawers too. Just, I think it'll look better. Or stain, and I stained them before, so I thought, let's try, because I've done similar newer pieces. Like, let's try to see what they look like. Paint it. And of course, I'm gonna paint the scallops. I don't know where my cut will be, so the whole thing's getting painted. I'll probably have a little touch up or when I wax it with probably some colored wax. We'll see how it blends. So I don't know, just because, you know, like it's a different product, it does crack a little bit different, or is it because it's a new item? You just never know, or how I mixed it, or the day of the weather, who knows? Just different like grittiness to it, and maybe I didn't get it all the way whipped up like I needed to. It's okay, because I like any character that the paint gives. I'm gonna do some aging wax, test out the back. Like I said, it's just a different crackle texture. I mean, there's crackle textures on it, but I don't know if it's the piece or, you know, the product. I don't know. It's still amazing either way. You know, we get used to using something and we expect the same results from something different. Well, it's something different, so you're going to see different results. Okay, so I got everything waxed. So now I'm just setting this on here. I'll run a bead of glue. It definitely takes a little, I might have wanted to seal it in. I mean, it's a little bit, it's a different texture than I'm used to. Maybe I should have used clear, but once I got the brown on there, the clear as a eraser, it didn't work quite as much, but that's okay. Hey, I like to learn, so I'm just gonna get some glue and a staple, so I don't get a mess with all the wood glue. I'm just gonna go in with CA glue thick. And I'm just going to eyeball that we are on each side. Make sure I'm all the way down. And then put a staple. Honestly, I just took it over to the bandsaw because I thought that would be easier. I was afraid the motion would split the wood. So I'm just going to sand this a little bit and see what I need to do to touch it up. So I think just a little bit of the aging wax, kind of get it in where those staples are. Kind of has a little, I mean, it's cottagecore, but it's got a little bit of rustic with it, just the way that the paint took the wax. So I'm going to do some knobs. Side to side. Oh, yeah, because they go with everything. What's a girl to do? Oh, porcelains are just awesome. For anybody that's new here, there's a local booth that has a lot of these little porcelain knobs. And every time I go in, I don't know if it's like a 9 or 12 or how many's in there, but I don't pass them up because I can't find them online to buy them. Classic. So there's a little bit, I buy the screws and the nuts off of Amazon to fit them. They don't come with that. But if they're too long, then I just take bolt cutters and cut off the excess. Okay, so what is it? What does this mean? I don't know. Is it buttons? Is it buttons? Is it supposed to be like a type of spool cabinet? But as you see, it's new. So I'm going to take the hardware off. We're going to sand it, fill in the holes like we did the other piece, and then we'll go from there and see what I come up with paint. I'm going to take this hardware off. It's actually not even straight on there. I don't think it's doing anything for the piece anyway. It's neat. Just more of the air dry clay because they're just little bitty holes. That's all. Just little bitty. This inside is not an easy thing to get to, so I'm gonna paint the outer blue. So I'm going to paint the inner blue, but I'm going to use spray paint. So I can't say that it's necessarily completely going to match, but I don't really want that wood tone. So I'm going to go in with Spa Blue. It's a glossy paint by Rust-Oleum. Out of the blues I have, I think this is I can try to match it. I don't think I'm going to paint the inside of the drawers the same as I just did the inside of the body of it. I'm just going to spray shellac on it, and I'll paint it whatever color I come up with to paint it. I'm not sure if I could even come close to making the inside color, but it'll be okay. So now I sanded like where the glossy paint had hit the outside when I spray painted the inside. So, and then resprayed it with shellac. And now I'm just going to do a denim. And I can't, that is really bright blue. So we'll just see what it mixes. To paint the inside, see that glue? Can you see the glue marks? They don't stain very well. So we'll just see what it becomes. Okay, this is what the blue paint did. That's still a little bright, but that's okay. We're going to be putting drawers inside of it. So I sanded as much of the inside as I possibly, wherever I could fit my hand in there. That wasn't very easy, but at least it won't be grabby when it's going, sliding in and out. And I think I'm going to stick with the aging wax and see what this does. Always check out the back first in case you don't like it. Oh, there's that nice blue, nice old-timey blue. There's no reason to, because this is your pole. You stick your finger in there. And I ran across somebody that had some of the typewriter keys and they actually cut them off. So I'm like, do I do letters? I don't have a 1. I think I'm going to stick with the letters. Usually I would do numbers. They have the signs, but they really stick out that they're typewriter keys. So A, B, C, D. You have to sing the alphabet to be able to do it. So I think that'd be cute. Just like I tried over here and I'm like, no, I like them. I think I like them just like right underneath there. And then I'm just going to decide which glue I think will adhere though. I feel like Quick and Thick multi-surface, I feel like it will hold it. I wasn't sure, like, do I need JB Weld? I didn't think Star Bond would be enough. So I'm just going to put a little dab. Try to get a little dab. Your fingers don't work with you when you're working with stuff like this. And then I'm just going to do the old, I got to eyeball you. Well, let's see. You think you're just doing a little, and then it's not. But I know, I mean, when I use Quick and Thick, it sets up pretty fast, so. Put less than I did the first time. Or try to. So who doesn't like to try out a new paint? Yeah, sure, Vonda, send me some new paint, new colors to work with. You know, everything new you have to kind of learn. I'm sure there's a learning curve to everything, but I mean, it acts pretty much just like Sweet Pickins, and y'all know I like to paint stuff. So send me some paint. I'll use it and check it out. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and you can see what I'm painting. Bye.